and welcome to LawSikho's Thorough Newspaper Analysis for the 6th of June 2023. So today we have one editorial article which is titled A Word of Advice to the Delhi Police and has been taken from the Hindu. For the second and the third segment of today, we have the news update and the legal news for the day. So, with today's article, A Word of Advice to the Delhi Police, it again goes back to the recent demonstrations that have been put out by the wrestlers against Brij Bhushan Singh, who happens to be the president of the Wrestling Federation of India. He has been charged with molesting women wrestlers, and in a particular case, a minor. Now, the protest by India's medal winning wrestlers has been in news for long. Two cases for sexual harassment were reported against the Wrestling Federation of India after the Supreme Court decided to intervene in the matter. The cases were registered under POCSO Act and the Indian Penal Code. Now, according to Lalita Kumari versus Government of Uttar Pradesh and others, which is a 2014 judgment, the veracity of allegations cannot be inquired into before registering an FIR. Now, the thing was, the Supreme Court in this particular case came forward and held that if the police recognized that it was a cognizable offense based on which an FIR was being made, the police could not go forward and state that they would look into the veracity of the allegations that were being made against the accused first and then decide to take the FIR. Now, in case a delay of over 3 months, the delay would have to be explained satisfactorily. Now, this comes in light of the fact that even though FIRs were launched, these incidents happened years ago, and it is only now that the victims have come forward with their statements. And in order to prove this, what happened is that the victims have stated that they are willing to go forward with narco tests in order to show that they are the ones who are speaking the truth. Now, therefore, when it comes to this particular FIR, the insistence of the Delhi police on holding a preliminary inquiry and a delay in registering cases is not justified. Further, the entire claim of submitting themselves to narco tests and the repeat allegation that yes, like the wrestlers need to submit themselves to the narco tests in order to show whether or in order to prove whether the allegations that have been made by them against Brij Bhushan Singh are true or false. This does not hold substance under law. Now, according to the Selvi case of 2010, the High Court came forward and held that narco tests are not administered on victims. They are administered on accused if the accused is willingly going to take these narco tests in the first place. They can't be forced on anyone and they are not administered on victims in the first place. Now, with regards to arrests and investigation, allegations pertaining to sexual assault at the workplace or otherwise, which may attract Section 8 or Section 10, since Brij Bhushan was in a position of power, and Section 12 of the POCSO Act and Section 354 of the Indian Penal Code do not attract imprisonment for more than 7 years. Hence, with reference to this, according to Section 41 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, arrests would not be mandatory in absence of material evidence to show that there is a possibility of tampering of evidence. However, looking at the sensitivity of the cases, the best option available with Delhi police is to complete the investigation as quickly as possible and have the final report submitted in court. Now, with regards to the minor victim, there is a presumption that the prosecution with respect to the sexual violence meted out to the victim would be under the POCSO Act. And if that is the case, the burden of proof that he did not commit such sexual that he did not go forward and carry out a sexual abuse on such a minor would fall on Brij Bhushan Singh. So right now, all that we can do is hope that the Delhi police goes forward, conducts an investigation as soon as possible, and wrap up this case and file their final report in the court. With this, we move on to the national news for the day. Firstly, we have the NIRF rankings for 2023. Continuing its legacy, IIT Madras has secured the top spot for the fifth consecutive year in the NIRF rankings for 2023. NIRF 2023 assessed 5543 higher educational institutions across 13 categories: overall universities, medical, engineering, management, law, architecture, and allied sectors, and innovation. The agriculture section was introduced this year. The participating institutions were evaluated on five criteria: teaching, learning and resources, research and professional practice, graduation outcomes, and outreach inclusivity and perception. Secondly, we have third Khelo India University Games concluded in Varanasi. The third Khelo India University Games were concluded in IIT BHU campus in Varanasi. Punjab University regained their champions crown as Guru Nanak Dev University fell short despite fencing sweep on the final day. Punjab University Chandigarh regained their overall champions crown after a gap of one edition of the Khelo India University Games. Despite a clean sweep at defending goals, Guru Nanak Dev University Amritsar fell short on the final day of the competitions. Next up, we have Startup 20 Engagement Group Meetings. The Startup 20 Engagement Group meeting culminated on Sunday in Goa with a call of action for G20 nations to invest $1 trillion for startup ecosystems by 2030. The two-day meeting here ended on a positive note with all participating delegations agreeing on the policy communique drafted during the conference, as stated by Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, chairman of Startup 20 Engagement Group. This was the third meeting of the engagement group, with the first two rounds taking place in Hyderabad and Telangana and Sikkim. We also have Ayushmann Khurrana as the Goodwill Ambassador for Special Olympics Bharat. The Special Olympics Bharat have scaled up in the preparation of the athletes ahead of the Special Olympics World Summer Games, which are set to take place in Berlin, Germany. India will be sending a 280 strong contingent comprising of 198 athletes and partners, along with 57 coaches who will be competing across 16 sports disciplines. Special Olympics is a global inclusion event to empower people with disabilities. In sad news, we have noted Sanskrit scholar Ved Kumari Ghai passes away. Sanskrit scholar Ved Kumari Ghai passed away at the age of 91. She was born in the Jammu city of Jammu and Kashmir in 1931. She did her MA and PhD in Sanskrit from the University of Jammu and also studied at the Banaras Hindu University and the University of Oxford. Ghai was awarded the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in India, in 2001 for her contributions to the Sanskrit literature. She was also a recipient of the Sahitya Academy Award, the highest literary award in India, in 1991 for her book, The Sanskrit Language. Next up, we have Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan releases UGC regulations of 2023. Speaking on this occasion, Shri Pradhan said that UGC institutions deemed to be universities regulation 2023 will facilitate creation of many more quality-focused deemed to be universities in an objective and transparent manner. The new simplified guidelines will encourage universities to focus on quality and excellence, strengthen the research ecosystem, and have a long-term impact on transforming our higher education landscape. The minister complimented UGC for this timely reform aligned with the National Education Policy of 2020. The UGC Act 1956 provides for the central government to declare any institution other than a university to a status of institution deemed to be university as if it were a university within the meaning of Section 2, subsection F. Now, in our international news segment for the day, we have Edgars Rinkevics, new president of Latvia. Latvia's parliament has elected long-serving foreign minister Edgars Rinkevics as the country's next president, and he will be representing Latvia, which is a European Union and a NATO member, at the NATO's Vilnius summit. He has also served in the country's civil services for an extended period of time and carries with him a wealth of experience when it comes to managing Latvia. For the second news of the day, we have Abdulla Mandous, new president of WM. A meteorologist of United Arab Emirates, Dr. Abdulla Mandous, has been elected as the new president of the World Meteorological Organization for a 4-year term beginning from 2023 and up till 2027. As chairperson, Abdulla Mandous aims to exchange the resilience of nations to weather and climate-related hazards, promote knowledge sharing and capacity building, and strengthen service delivery. For the legal news of the day, we have Karnataka High Court disposes PIL for establishment of internal complaints committee in all educational institutions. Now, the Karnataka High Court, in the case of Preetham's Pro Bono and Center for Legal Research and Ministry of Secondary and Primary Education and another, held that disposed a public interest litigation seeking directions to the State Department of Primary and Secondary Education to issue circulars mandating all educational institutes to establish an internal complaints committee, or ICC, in light of the Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act 2013. Now, this especially comes again from the entire Wrestling Federation of India, and studies committed regarding this that a lot of the workplaces do not have an internal complaint committee, although one has to be mandatorily made according to the act. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TNA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, the link of which you can find in the description. Or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. Don't forget us to subscribe our channel on YouTube to stay up to date with the thorough newspaper analysis as it comes up every day. Thank you.